is in 1979, The Magnificent M. Talk me through the entire storyline from beginning to end, who came up with it, what was the end goal, and just everything about it.
Well, I had been back to San Francisco with Roy. I got back, got my ocean fix, my surfing fix for a good better part of a year, and I turned heel on Patterson and Pat, and that was it. I didn't want to be babyface any longer. I wasn't a babyface any longer. So to carry on, it was natural to go back to that Jack Briscoe, look-alike thing with the figure four and the hour broadways and all those other things to go back to Florida, and they were wondering how they wanted to bring me in, under what was the storyline I was going to carry coming in, and my understanding, maybe Jerry Briscoe, may have been Jack, may have been somebody else, but my understanding, it came from Buddy Rogers and Eddie Graham, came all the way from the top, Magnificent M. That I'd been after the '77 run with the Koloff and Saito and all those the great heels that had been in there. I'd been established pretty well I was over pretty well as a baby face, and pretty well respected baby face and well known. And so what were they going to do? Why was they going to go? Is it, well, let's go with the idea that you're sick of. You're sick of being compared to Jack Briscoe. I'm better than Jack Briscoe. I'm better looking. Obviously, I got more hair, and all that, whatever. But there was that. But it was how I was going to enter the territory. How I was going to make my comeback. So evidently, what I did was I shaved my head every bit, because I had the long, nice brown hair, the Jack Briscoe hairstyle. The flowing brown hair. It would shake when the heels would beat me and stuff like that. So I shaved my head and put a mask on. And so evidently that was Eddie, and I'm not sure who totally that, but Eddie put me over because they came up with that Asiatic spike, where I taped the thumb and stuck in the guy's, the opening you have in your clavicle there, and held that down. It was like a secret sleeper, new type of sleeper, before MMA, pre-MMA sleeper.
It's like the Dr. Spock thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. So that's what, and I came in a six-man tag that very first night in Tampa with the mask on, and it was pretty evident. I had the scar on my shoulders and arms and stuff. It wasn't a big, I wasn't fooling a lot of people. Who I was, but Eddie put me over with that spike. Is I'm gonna, and the main man's gonna, Eddie's gonna the tag. So I beat Eddie in that tag that first Tuesday night, and I went in, did a couple TVs with the mask on, the Magnificent M, and everything. It was a really beautiful angle, real nice angle. So after about 2 or 3 weeks of TV and going around smashing everybody, wearing the mask, I came back. Steve Kern came out, and very unprofessionally, it was unheard of in the business at that time. And he exposed me. He said, Gordon Sully asked, what do you think about this Magnificent M guy? I said, Magnificent M? You mean Don Muraco? I don't know what, he's acting all weird. He's being really, he's being really strange. I don't know what's going on with him. Yeah, it's Don Muraco. It's not, it was completely unprofessional. It's like saying, Joe Hamilton's the assassin, Don Jardine, or Bill Eady's the mess, or Johnny Walker, busting with Neil Moskers. It was, but I wasn't an established, or Dick Byers, one of those. I wasn't an established masked man, but it was just completely unprofessional in wrestling annals, layman's, as far as wrestling TV, wrestling shows go. So I heard that, and he did that, and I was the next match I was the next match on TV for the TV hour, And I was just irate. I was out of my mind. I was incensed and everything else. And I called, ended up, I beat the hell out of somebody. And I called, said, Kurt, get your ass out here. And he and I started to get into got into a brawl, and they sent the guys out to pull us apart. The people were screaming and yelling, and we're going, oh, screaming and yelling again. So as they're going, 3 or 4 guys got him, 3 or 4 guys got me. He has a hold of me by the mask, and my mask isn't tight. And as they pull us apart, he keeps the mask off. The mask comes, and I'll come my head, and I'm totally bald, completely. There's not a hair, and it's never been said before. And then I went into big long tirade about Florida and Jack Briscoe, and I didn't want to be Jack Briscoe, and I was better. I did the figure 4 and blah 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 and everything else, and it set me right into that turnstile there, that pinwheel there, So that was a really nice angle, really. And Eddie Graham and Buddy Rogers. That whole expose was totally unprofessional. Not seen before on TV. You didn't go out and the doctor. Dick Myers is the mass destroyer. The destroyer, or Dr. X. You never. Huh? What are you doing? You don't. I'm sure people know it or things like that, but I was an established masked man anyway. But it was just an unprofessional move as far as the TV show was concerned. No, it was all prearranged. It was all set up how he was going to be, always going to be unprofessional as such.
I've got you.
But it was kind of just what I don't understand. Yeah, and everybody goes, well, yeah, it is Don. Yeah, we know it's Don Muraco, but this is wrestling. Professional wrestling. You're not supposed to say anything. Until you have the hair versus mask match or something like that. Where you unmask him in the ring and stuff. But this is that boom, and then we went right into everything.
Right, this happened to my brother. He always had straight hair, and then he just shaved his head, and then it grew back curly. Was that the same for you?
No.
Oh.
Still growing. I just cut it 2 weeks ago. Still coming back well.
And also, you sort of look like, with the sort of like grayness, I actually watched this before we talked today, and you almost look like Archie the Stomper Gouldy when the mask comes off. It doesn't look like you at all. So was anybody confused as actually who it was before you said it's Don Muraco, obviously?
Boy, I don't know. Well, I had hair. I just the night before TV, I shaved my head. I was walking around with regular Don Muraco, and then that day, actually it was the day of TV. I shaved. I was with somebody else. I'll be somebody different tomorrow. I'll be a complete different person. And so what? And then he came back. So, oh God, I didn't realize you're going to be a bald-headed guy.
Did anyone do a double take in the locker room?
Oh yeah, sure.
Did somebody not recognize?
It's just the thing about bald head is just keeping it bald. Just keeping. They did a lot of maintenance there.
So obviously you go into a feud with Steve Keirn afterwards, and working with Steve Keirn, and are there any stories about Keirn that doesn't involve Freddie Blassie?
Yeah. No, he was a good solid worker. We went around the territory and had, he was putting me over. He was getting me building me up for Jack and Dusty. Slaughtering the pig, as it were. He was slop for the hog, as getting me ready for down the road. So I went around, had good matches with him. Tremendous performer, hard worker, fast, quick. Does everything.